Hello my babies, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a very detailed makeup tutorial featuring a bold and glamorous cut crease look. This one is perfect for a night out, a special event, or whenever you feel like unleashing your inner body. Grab your brushes, your patience, and maybe a snack because this is going to be a journey. Let's get started.
I don't want pull no trigger. I just want me, cause I can place. I don't want no wahala, no wahala, no wahala, no wahala, no wahala, no wahala.
Today we are going from just rolled out of bed to don't talk to me unless you're verified on Instagram. First, we're prepping the skin. I've already cleansed and moisturized my face, aka the canvas for this masterpiece. I then use my Aquafoil lip repair but under my eyes. I use it under my eyes because it hydrates and smoothens the skin. It's a tip that I got from TikTok, obviously. And I just massage it under my eyes and on my eyelid. It just makes everything so smooth. And today we are going to need that for the eyeshadow look. Next, I went back with a little bit of moisturizer because I felt like my skin needed a little more love. And I really took my time to massage it in and making sure that I put it everywhere. And pro tip, make sure you're not using a moisturizer with oil in it. It makes everything moves and it's just not ideal. I have oily to combination skin, but you still need something hydrating. Now I'm going with one of my favorite primer. It's the Smashbox Smooth and Blur Primer. I like a very smooth and blurring primer, and this one has done great things for me so far. But it's not my top fave because it doesn't go with all of my foundation, but for today it will do. I press it and focus on areas where my makeup tends to go awry. Now I'm going with a translucent loose powder. It's the Laura Mercier setting powder in the shade Honey. I go ham on this and I really put it everywhere, but mostly on the spot that tends to get oily fast. If you have drier skin, you can skip this, but this is my holy grail tip to make sure that my foundation stay in place and stay matte for a long time, no matter what foundation I use. Next, I'm color correcting my face with the Good Apple Foundation Balm. The coverage on this is amazing and the undertone is very orange, at least on me, so it works perfectly to color correct. I only apply it in the area where I need to color correct because my skin is far from being even, and before you apply foundation, you need to make sure you have an even base, and this is why I'm doing this. I apply it with a flat foundation brush before going in with a damp beauty blender to blend it out. You don't want to blend it out too much though. You have to let some of that orange peek through a little, otherwise you did all of this for nothing. You can also use a color correcting product, but I have this, so why spend money on a new product? Next, this step is very optional, but I go in with this one size toner up the base BBB cream. Yes, there are like 3 B's. I use the same brush that I use with the Good Apple foundation to apply it, and I just paint my face with it, and I sprayed my face with the Mario Badescu spray. If you know me, you know that I usually do the Charlotte Tilbury melting spray, but I ran out of it, and money is tight. The economy is not good right now. So I went back to a cheaper option, and this works great to blend my makeup and it's way less expensive, so you will see me use it a few times during this video. And I blended the BBB cream with the same sponge that I used before, and now I'm looking like a ghost, okay? Straight up look like I jumped in a bowl of flour. But listen, doesn't that skin look even? If you say no, you're a liar. Yes. Next up, finally, time for foundation. I'm using the Estee Lauder foundation, which is the best matte foundation known to men, in my opinion. And I will fight you on this, okay? Okay, I'm kidding. This is a medium to full coverage foundation because we are aiming for flawless, darling, not casual. I may not know who I'm going to marry, but I know I will be wearing this foundation on my wedding day. I'm dotting it all over my face, more dots than a Dalmatian, and blending it out with a brush. I don't like blending my foundation with a sponge. Personal preference, I just like the finish of a brush better. Remember, blend it like your ex is going to see you today. Don't forget your neck and ears unless you're going for a accidental mask look. Now for concealer, I'm applying the One Size concealer in the shade Medium Dark 3. And I'm just applying a little because a little bit of this goes a long way. And this shade has a very warm undertone. And I personally don't like a super warm concealer look. I think it makes me look like Donald Trump and I don't want that. I then go over it with the Burn This Way concealer in the shade Honey. And I'm applying it under my eyes in this weird triangle shape on the outer corner of my nose, on my chin, a little bit on my forehead, and lastly on the bridge of my nose. These are the high points of the face that we want to highlight. I let that concealer sit. I know some people don't, but in this house, we let the concealer sit and take a nap on the face before blending it. I then go do my brows. For my brows, I use new products, which is big for me because I'm a creator of habits. But I use the L'Oreal Paris Brow Lamination Gel because I saw my friend at work with it the other day and she told me she used that and her brows looked amazing. And I needed that, you know? I did cut the longer pieces because I wanted sexy, fake, messy. You know the look? Not messy. And I used the L'Oreal Paris Brow Pencil to fill in the gaps in my brows. And honestly, my brows took less than 5 minutes to do. These were the quickest brows ever and they still ended up looking like sisters. I then cleaned them up with the NARS Soft Matte Concealer because it was going to be my base for my eyeshadows later. Next, I'm removing this headband that has been cutting the blood circulation in my head to blend my contour to not end up with an unblend line. Now, let's sculpt this face like I am Michelangelo and my cheekbones are the Sistine Chapel. And now I'm just dipping, tapping, swelling. Okay, I'm doing too much. I'm using the Danessa Myricks Contour Balm in Medium Twee. This contour is so good. It just melts into your skin and I'm just doing tapping motions to apply it. And I'm applying it on both sides of my forehead, the higher points of my cheeks, and I'm also gonna apply it on my chin, under my eyebrows, to the inner corner of my nose, if that makes sense, and a little bit on the outer corner of my eyes to just lift up those eyes, giving me a sexy look, you know the vibes. And on my nose, I just do this little circle on the tip of my nose to give me that little cutie button nose look. You guys will see how everything looks when I'm done applying it. Great, now that I look like I've been murder wrestling, it's time to blend. Why do I feel like I'm scrubbing a mistake out of mystery? Oh wait, it's actually coming together. Like, this is cute. This contour is blending so nicely into my skin. Just focus on tapping and blending. You can put some music so it goes by faster, or you can listen to a show. So, do I look chiseled or just slightly dirty? I don't know anymore. Contouring is supposed to make you look snatched, not tired raccoon, okay? That being said, let's move on to blending this concealer again. I'm tapping and I'm blending it out for a brightening and lifted effect. In my opinion, blending your concealer and contour is the hardest and longest part of doing your makeup, at least my makeup. This is the part where you start to feel like a glamazon. Embrace it! But once it's done, you're pretty much done. Okay, don't look at how much time we have left in this video, okay? But make sure you're keeping the product exactly where you applied it and blend your under eye close to your eyes so you don't want that concealer to be on your cheeks. I always go back with my foundation brush to make sure that everything is seamless with no harsh line, and I also go back with a sponge to really get down and dirty with the concealer and to make sure that it's not going anywhere. To set everything in place, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Hair Blush Flawless Powder in the shade Tweet Tan. I'm pressing under my eyes with a brush to prevent creasing and lightly dusting over the rest. And this is not the time to be heavy-handed. Dust the excess product before applying it, and this step just make your makeup last longer. Next, time for baking. Not cake, but this face, okay? I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Loose Baking Setting Powder in the shade Kunafa, and I'm using a triangle sponge to apply it, and I do light press on my skin to put it in place, and I apply it everywhere that I put my concealer and between the contour on my cheek and the one on my chin. On top, I take my brush and I applied a a very light layer of the one size setting powder just to brighten the spot a little more. It just gives it a little razzle dazzle. And I'm just making sure that my face has the right undertone. Sometimes if you feel like you're doing all those steps right and your makeup isn't looking right, it may be because you're not using the product with the right undertone for your skin. Anyway, I am leaving the baking powder on to do my eyes. Baking is like putting your face in the oven but without the heat, unless your ring light is doing overtime. Alright, let's move on to the star of the show, the eyes. Using my By Mario matte eyeshadow palette, and I'm starting with a fluffy blending brush and the color Matte 2 and the Crease as a base for the eyeshadow. And I go close to my eyebrows but not too close to make sure that we won't have any harsh line. I will go back to that color a few times, but for now I do 3 to 4 layers of this. Honestly, if I wasn't filming, I would I would go straight into the next color, but for this video, I had to be professional and do a step by step. Next, I take another fluffy brush. By the way, you don't have to use that many brush. You can just have something on the side where you can just clean your brush as you go. But because I didn't want to do that, I just took multiple brush. Anyway, I take a fluffy brush, but a little flatter, and I go in with a warm brown shade. It's the color Matte 7. And I go in the crease of my eyes as a transition color, and I drag it to the inner and outer corner of my eyes as well. This will help all the other shades blend seamlessly. Think of it as like a base layer of a cake. Next, I'm deepening the crease with a darker brown shade. And I took the color Matte 8 and I'm just reapplying it on top of the previous one. Why didn't I start with it, you may ask? Because this is a tutorial, okay, with Stitch. And this way you avoid patchiness. Like if you're not used to blending, this is the best and easiest way to go. I'm really focusing on the crease and keep the same sweeping movement going to blend it. Next, I go back with the first brush and the first color to make sure that everything is blending nicely. Now I take a warmer brown, it's the color Matte 10 with a fluffy but precise brush, and I just focus it on the outer V but blending it a little with the crease to match with the previous colors for that added dimension effect. It's like contouring but for your eyeballs. Next, I just go back in with the first color, but this time in the inner corner of my eyes, and I am essentially just mapping out where I want to cut the crease. Again, if you're used to doing it, you can go directly with the concealer to cut the crease, but I like to do this step by step to make sure that I get an idea of where I want to put the concealer next. So now, here comes the fun part, cutting the crease. I'm taking a small flat brush and a little bit of concealer. Starting in the inner corner of my eyes, I'm carving out a sharp line in my natural crease. And here's the tip, move your eyes in all of the direction after you apply that concealer on your crease. So that way you can see how high you should go and then you use it as a reference to cut the crease. You can always go higher if you want, but for today we're staying in a nice comfortable area. And another tip, look straight ahead into a mirror to make sure your crease is visible when your eyes are open. I'm not gonna lie, you actually need to be very precise with this step. But it's really not that hard to do. Like if you practice it enough, you will get it eventually. You just need to remember you're creating an optical illusion here. It's like magic but with fewer rabbits. And after cutting the crease, I take the same brush and clean the tip to remove the excess product before going back on my eyes. And I go back on my eyes with the brush to blend out the outer corner of the crease to make sure that the line isn't too harsh. Now, if you're going for a matte look, you need to set the concealer, but I am going with a shimmer champagne eyeshadow onto my lid, and this is a very creamy eyeshadow. This add that pop of glam. I will try to link it, but it was given to me, you guys, and I love the box that it came in. But any colorful eyeshadow in that color would work, honestly. But I'm not gonna lie, this one is really pretty, to be honest. It looked green in lower lights. I posted a couple pictures on IG if you guys want to see. Anyway, I applied the shimmer shadow right over the concealer, and this is me trying to decide if I liked it or not. But I'm just not a shimmer girl. But this year, I wanted to try new things and have fun with makeup again. Honestly, it turned out really cute, and thank God for that, because I was scared because I was not going to do this all over again. Now, to blend the outer V with the shimmer shadow, I'm taking a bit of this darker brown shade. It's the shade Matte 8 and softly diffusing it into the shimmer. Now I take a smaller fluffy brush and I take a mix of Matte 10 and 11 and I tap it in my outer corner just to give the eye more dimension. In my opinion, this just makes the eyes pop more and give it more dimension, and it's just so much prettier. Like, it gave my eyes more pizzazz. Then I took this pointy brush. You can also use a flat brush for this. And I took the color Matte 8 again and I applied it right over where I cut the crease with the concealer just to accentuate the look. Those steps may seem useless, but they are actually what makes the look. Next, I go in my waterline with a brown pencil liner to really accentuate my eyes and give my eyes dimension. I'm not going to do a wing because at my big age, I still struggle to do one. For the lower lash line, I'm smudging that darker brown shade for a smoky effect and connecting it to the top out of corner. I don't know if I'm making sense, but you are seeing what I'm doing. Just make sure to use a small fluffy brush to not have a harsh line. You just want a cohesive look. Now, because I'm extra and I love a good cat eye, I do, guys, I do. I take a liquid brown concealer and I deepen the inner corner of my eyes to make my eyes shape up more. Now, I did apply my mascara and lashes off camera, but I take a black liner this time to cover the line between my inner corner and where the lashes starts. Now guys, these lashes are from Shein. I got them about a year ago, so hopefully they still have the link and they still sell them, but you can just go on the Shein website and you will find them, I'm sure. Now back to the face, I'm taking my fancy bronzer in the shade Caramel Cutie and I'm going over where I applied the contour. And I do apply a couple layers of it because I just love a good warm look for your bronzer. I live in Canada, so again, fake it until we get some sun again. Now for blush, listen, this is the LYS Beauty Shimmer Blush in the shade Bubbly, and I completely forgot what I was dealing with. This is pigmented, okay? But anyway, blush blindness doesn't exist in this house, so who cares? But I did go ahead and blend it by doing a little tapping motion, and I smiled to apply it. And I put a little bit on my forehead as well, just to keep everything cohesive again. And when I'm blending it, I apply a little into my eyebrows, just because I think I look cute. I wasn't gonna say something, but it's just because I think it looks cute. And I switched to a bigger and fluffier brush to diffuse it nicely. Okay, now I know you think I'm done, but I'm not. I took my Sephora matte powder foundation in the shade 31P to blend and remove the baking powder that I put earlier, and also to tame the blush a little. Next, because I'm obsessed with a bronzy look, I took my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. I told you guys I love a good bronze look. I'm sorry, but honestly, those are the extra steps that will elevate your makeup. And I applied it everywhere that I put the fancy bronzer. Now you might judge me, but listen, another blush. Yes, guilty. It's again the LYS Beauty Satin Matte Cream Blush in the shade Epic. This is a nice deep orange shade that gives color and dimension to my face, and it just looks pretty. Now, this is when you're really going to judge me, because on top, I go with the Sephora Matte Blush in the color 17. Hey, jealousy! Because this color is gorgeous. The pigment, this shade, 20 out of 10. I love it. It's so cute. Now I just go back in with my Charlotte Tilbury powder just to make sure that everything looks smooth and that the face is looking blurry and nice. This just looks so good. Now, time for the setting spray. Even though I love my one size setting spray, today I used the NYX Marshmallow Matte Makeup Setting Spray. It smells so good, and it was my first time using it too, so I sprayed the first pump on my hand to not have any drop on my face. Don't skip your setting spray, okay? Don't skip this step unless you enjoy your makeup melting like ice cream in the sun. Now for the lips, I'm lining them with this dark purpley lip liner. It's the NYX Matte Lip Liner in the shade Vintage. I wanted to range out of my everyday brown lip liner and match my lip with the blush. And on top of this shade, I actually went with my other NYX lip liner in the shade dark brown. But listen, that was just to darken the first lip liner a little. I diffused the lip liner with a lip brush because I wanted to give you guys professional today. Mind you, I'm no makeup artist. I just love doing my makeup. Anyway, next, I filled my lips in with this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream to finish. Honestly, this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream is one of the best lip products out there. And I'm topping it off with the Maybelline Lifter Gloss 001. And the color Blush Blaze, it just gives my lips that juicy plump look. By the way, the plump, okay? What's the name of that? The tingly feeling on this is real. Now, because I'm extra and I don't like a plain face, I brought back some of my natural beauty marks and I added a few more because I think they look cute. And to finish everything, because if your lips aren't giving main character energy, we're not done. I added my Fancy Gloss Heat 03 on top to have the world's juiciest lips. And there you have it, babes. I cut Crease so sharp it could slice through the haters. I hope you had fun following along, and if you recreate this look, tag me on social media so I can gasp dramatically and shower you with emojis. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, or I will send you my unblend contour to haunt you. Until next time, stay fabulous, keep shining, and remember, if it all fails, blame it on the bad lighting. Bye!